If you knew which auto repair shops in California got the most complaints for bad repairs or overbilling, it might help you the next time you have car trouble.
Each year, thousands of those complaints are submitted to a state agency that is supposed to be protecting consumers. So the question is, why are the complaints being kept secret? Investigative reporter Begad Shaban has been looking into that. Begad.
Raj and Jess, that state agency is the Bureau of Automotive Repair, and it encourages drivers to check out its website to look up the track record of repair shops across California. But we discovered their database isn't exactly the best roadmap for drivers. And tonight, you'll see that for yourself in a bizarre tale of bills, lies, and touch-up paint.
Right here.
Albert and Michelle De La O say their problems began when their SUV wouldn't start.
This is the estimate.
So they had it towed to this Midas Auto Repair shop in San Jose off Monterey Highway. When they picked up their car, Michelle immediately noticed something was wrong.
Squeaky noises, a lot of when you turn the wheel, like cracking noises and stuff. We called and they said nothing had happened, which I knew something happened, but they just weren't saying what had happened.
So you thought all your problems were because you needed new tires?
Correct.
So Albert went to another shop to replace all 4 tires for about $300.
And did that fix the problem?
No.
That very same day, they got a call from a former employee at the Midas shop.
He tells me the car fell off the lift. At this point, I'm like, no.
The mechanic even had pictures. That 8-passenger SUV crashed onto its side from several feet in the air. The mechanical lift pierced the bottom of the car and the front passenger window shattered. Adam Wicklander was the employee who took the photos. He didn't want to talk to us on camera, but told us he and his coworkers were ordered by their district manager to fix the car as best they could without telling the owners of the SUV.
How would you describe the work that they did?
Sloppy. Right here, this wasn't never like this. Color don't match.
Plus, the paint bubbled up. And while the right window was replaced, pieces of the old one were left inside the car door.
So this is broken glass?
Yes.
And you've never had your window broken?
No, ever.
Michelle instantly thought back to when she called the repair shop just a few days before to say she'd be stopping by to pick up medicine she forgot in the SUV. When she arrived, all the lights in the garage were off. A mechanic met her inside.
I go in there and he tells me, oh, you wouldn't believe it. And I said, believe what? We have no electricity. The power went out.
And you would find out later, did they really lose electricity that day?
No.
They shut off all the lights so you wouldn't see the broken window.
Right.
The Midas corporate office told us specific questions about what happened would need to be answered by the actual repair shop, since it's independently owned and operated. The shop's district manager, Jawad Khan, who is also the shop owner's son, would not talk to us on camera, but confirmed the lift malfunctioned, and in a memo to the De La O family admitted there was a cover-up from the shop that took place. But he denied any involvement and blamed it all on his employees.
Did you believe that?
No.
Other repair shops assessed the damage at more than $11,000. Michelle and Albert filed a complaint with California's Bureau of Automotive Repair, a state agency created to protect consumers and hold auto repair shops accountable. But the couple says a Bureau investigator called them to say there was little he could do.
It just makes me feel that they're not doing their job.
We reviewed state data for the past 3 years and discovered that for about 97% of auto repair complaints, repair shops never receive any kind of discipline or enforcement action. That's more than 10,000 cases each year.
So for 10,000 cases, you couldn't find anything?
A lot of them are mediated and taken care of with educational conferences with the shop.
Bureau Chief Patrick Doré says current law only allows the Bureau to issue citations or fines to unlicensed repair shops or those that violate the state's smog check program. But when it comes to bad repairs or fraudulent billing, investigators can only recommend cases go to court, which rarely happens since that often requires a chain of similar complaints.
What happens to that consumer who may have been taken advantage of before anyone else?
Sometimes there's rework, adjustments to the bill.
The Bureau can't force an auto shop to do anything, but through that mediation process, consumers get about $5 million a year in voluntary repairs and refunds. But because no citation is ever given, the consumer complaints are never made public. even when the state believes repair shops took advantage of consumers.
The potential harm is that you're going to end up at a shop that puts you in an unsafe car.
Rosemary Shahan has been an auto industry watchdog for nearly 40 years and has sparked nationwide changes in auto safety. She says reform is overdue in California.
Would you describe the state's enforcement process as transparent?
No, it's not. No, it isn't transparent.
In recent years, the Bureau removed consumer complaints from its website, and our request to see those complaints was denied.
Isn't that information that consumers should know about?
So if we posted information where we felt they violated the law and they didn't get a chance to defend themselves, we would be in trouble as a government agency.
Is that an instance of your office, though, siding with the auto repair industry over consumers?
I wouldn't say we're siding with anyone.
Albert believes that's the problem, since the state's consumer advocacy group should be siding with consumers. After we contacted the agency, Albert's case was reassigned.
You're from the Bureau, right?
A new investigator called him and soon after issued this inspection report, which recommended the shop improve record keeping and communication with its customers. But no actual citations or fines were issued. So when consumers searched the state's online database of more than 36,000 auto repair shops, that Midas doesn't have a single violation.
They're going to do it to the next person. And to the next person. Till someone really says, hey, it has to stop.
The Bureau of Automotive Repair can refer cases to California's Attorney General for potential legal action. But remember, fewer than 3% of complaints ever get referred. Meanwhile, management at that Midas paid for the De La O family to have a rental car for nearly a month and offered them $6,700 for the damaged car. But the family's own insurance company determined the car was worth about $1,000 more and paid the claim after declaring the SUV a total loss. The De La O family is now considering suing that Midas shop.
A total loss.
We're watching the story with our jaws dropped because we see the pictures right there.
Yeah, a lot of evidence in this case.
Thanks, Bagad.